Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the last remaining item in the e.l.f. Mint Melt collection. I did a review on some of the items in the collection, which I think was my last video that went up, so I will link that up in the cards if you would like to check it out. And today we are going to be testing the Cooling Face Primer. We are going to be doing a full wear test today. I will give you the details for the product, and I'm going to be doing half of my face with, half of my face without, and we're just going to see how it compares. If you guys are wondering about this makeup look, I have not filmed this one. I just wanted to do something fairly quick, and I used my Beauty by Mmmmitchell palette, which is discontinued anyway, but everything that I've used is linked down below if it is still available. So yeah, if you guys are curious about the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Primer and whether it works or not, then just keep watching. I never normally start filming my makeup at this stage in my routine, so I'm really unsure how to get things moving. Also, this hairstyle was really cute when I did it the other day, and today it is just not cooperating, but moving on. Just before we jump in, I will mention my skin prep, because I do this before any makeup application. I just always do it off camera. I don't tend to cover it in my videos because it's a little bit boring. It's always the same thing. So I just always start by using some of my Garnier micellar water just to whiten my face. Start with a nice clean base, and at the moment I'm using the Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base. Not out of any like, this is my favorite, I really love using it. I bought it when I was starting to build what should have been my freelance kit, but you know what happened last year, so I'm using it up so that it doesn't go to waste. It's just maybe a little bit thick for me because I do have more oily skin, but I feel like someone with dry skin would really like it. And my next step is always eye cream, because while the rest of my face is fairly oily, my eyelids can get super dry. So at the moment I'm using the Mario Badescu Hyaluronic Eye Cream, and I'm really enjoying it. Right, so let's actually jump in. I feel like I've been talking for ages already and not actually gone into this. So one thing I really liked in my last video is that the items weren't wrapped in individual plastic packaging. The primer does come in a plastic box. I guess it looks nicer on the shelf, although we're not seeing it on the shelf at the moment. And I'm too stupid to open it apparently. Let's see. Can I do it from the top? Oh, okay, right, there we go. There was an easy opening at the top. I don't know why I didn't just start with that. It's just stuck to the back so that it stays nicely in place. So this is the Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer, so probably not something that we need at this time of year. This does feel like more of a summer collection to me. Am I the only one who feels that way? Like a cooling primer in winter? Maybe not. So it says, need a cooling refresher. No, not right now. This hydrating vanilla mint scented, vanilla mint? Oh, I just thought it would be mint scented, okay. This hydrating vanilla mint scented jelly primer is all you need. Its unique jelly texture works like glue to grip makeup to ensure it stays put. Its minty fresh skin loving ingredients will give you a refreshing cooling sensation infused with hyaluronic acid and antioxidants. Your skin will be looking and feeling its very best. Okay, so I mean that definitely sounds quite interesting. I'm definitely very curious about it. I don't know how I feel about them saying it's like glue, because like glue in makeup, I understand what they mean, but at the same time I'm a bit like, but actually if it is going to keep my makeup in place because it's going to grip to it, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing, especially under masks. I mean, we're not going anywhere, but if you aren't going anywhere and wearing a mask, if this helps it stay in place, not bad. The primer retails for £8 and contains 30 millilitres of product. I would say that's not bad at all. That is the same size as a standard foundation, and I feel like primers tend to be 30 a lot of the time, but sometimes 15, so not bad. Quite happy with that. And then this is what the packaging looks like. I haven't even showed it to you properly. So it comes in a tube with a pump, so very similar to the Too Faced Hangover primer, for example. So let's get this out. Oh! It looks like soap, guys. That's what it makes me think of, and it's super runny. I don't know how much I like the smell, because it's minty, but it kind of isn't, and I guess it is vanilla mint. Let me rub it in the back of my hand. Oh, okay. To be fair, I've never tried a jelly primer. I didn't try their jelly primer last year, so I don't know how similar this one is to that one. It's an interesting texture. It has some slip, but kind of doesn't at the same time. I've never tried anything like this. Okay, I'm really interested. So in terms of directions, it says to apply evenly to face prior to makeup application. Once applied, wait 30 seconds before applying makeup. Beauty tip, use clean fingers to pat product into skin. It feels sticky. It's weird. Oh my god. Okay, alright, I want to get this on my face. So for anyone who hasn't been on my channel before, hello, you should consider subscribing. What I actually mean to talk about is my skin type. Would I say I'm combination? I'm like more to the oily side, I would say. I get really oily on my nose. My nose is the worst offender, and then the forehead kind of follows, and then the highlight area as well. And at this time of year, like this part of my face, if I'm not using the right skincare, can get quite dehydrated and a little bit dry. So I guess, yeah, combination, but definitely leaning more towards oily. The way that I would normally prime under foundation, I tend to like a hydrating primer first, so something like a Too Faced Hangover Primer, but then I do follow up with some sort of oil control primer in my T-zone. So something like the Smashbox Oil Control, or I've really been liking the W7 Matte Miracle Elixir. So we're not going to do that today. We are literally just going to use this one and see how it goes. So I think what I'm going to do is do this side of my face, and I'm just going to get my whole nose as well, because there's no point trying to get half my nose. That's just going to be hassle. And then this side of my face will just have no primer, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to start. I think I'll do one pump. Yeah, one pump looks like plenty. Oh, okay, I can smell the mint a lot more on my face. I think it does kind of remind me of something like soap. I think it is the colour. And then, yeah, as I said, I'm just going to take it down the centre of the nose. I'm going to leave this side of the nose, but trying to do just half of your nose seems like a lot of hassle. Okay, one pump was plenty, so I think normally 2 pumps would probably be what you need to use. Yeah, there is a slight tacky sensation to it as I'm moving my face. It is kind of like I've put glue on my face. It is really weird. There's no blurring aspect or anything like that. Like, both sides of the face definitely look identical. So if you are someone who needs some blurring around this area, you'd probably have to double prime. That's not going to be the product for you. Yeah, there's no difference in what I'm seeing, but it is when you touch it, you can feel that there's something just a little bit tacky. Okay, that's pretty much it for the demonstration, to be honest. So let's move on to my foundation, and I'm going to take the Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation. My shade is Snow. This is a matte foundation, but I don't feel like it's the most matte foundation, and whenever I've worn it, I feel like my nose does get pretty oily, so I'm quite interested to see how it does with this one. So I've just got 2 pumps. Oh, that just got everywhere. Anyway, 2 pumps on the back of my beauty blender. Let's see how that applies. Just trying to see if I notice anything different in the way that this applies. I feel like maybe I feel a little bit more glowy on this side, do I? Oh my god, this is quite a runny foundation. You'd think I've never applied foundation in my life, wouldn't you? Right, so I've just done 1 layer of foundation here. I'll add a bit more for extra coverage. I'm not sure about the way it's applied to my nose. I think there is something a little bit more dewy and a little bit more glowy on this side. Although I'd say my forehead, does it kind of look the same all the way? I feel like it's not maybe adhering that well to my nose. Yeah, it's not really sticking down. Okay, right, I'm just gonna add a bit more down on this part of my face. So I'm just taking another pump. I do think this foundation looks really nice, but just in terms of it being a matte foundation, I don't really feel like I see it. Yeah, I feel like my nose looks like it's already oily. Hang on, let me just blend this side out again. Maybe this area looks a bit different. I don't know, it's really hard to tell. I feel like maybe this side looks a little bit more blurry, because I guess even though the primer isn't a blurring one, there's still something that's creating a bit of a film over her skin, so it is gonna look a bit more blurry. But other than that, at this stage, there's not a not a massive difference. Also, I've just realised I haven't said anything about the cooling effect because I guess I didn't really feel it. It's definitely not as cooling as the Origins one. That one, you put it on your face and your face is cold. Right, so I'm just going to carry on with my makeup. I'm going to do some spot concealing with my Conceal and Define Infinite in the shade C5. And then I'm going to do my highlighting and under eyes with my Jouer Essential High Coverage Cream Concealer in the shade Snow. I've definitely put way too much concealer on my nose. I sometimes forget just how thick this concealer is. Whoops. Someone asked me recently in a comment on a video how I do my concealer after my eye makeup without disturbing the makeup on my lower lash line. My solution is using a brush. Every time. If I use a beauty blender, I just find I get so much closer to it, I mess it up, and I use my PC13 by Peaches and Cream, which is really big, so you wouldn't think it would work, but I think it does. Right, in terms of powdering, that doesn't change. I'm really boring. I'm just gonna go in with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Powder, and I use the shade Light. God, the Jouer concealer is really thick. I can literally feel it on my upper lip. Definitely applied too much. Okay, so now that we've got powder on, how does it look? I do feel like this side does look a little bit more blurred, just literally around here. But again, I think that is because the primer has created a bit of a film. The nose looks a lot more settled down. I felt like it looked a lot better with the concealer, so I don't know if maybe it's this foundation that's not a good idea with this primer. Couldn't predict that, but the concealer seems to be sitting a little bit better, and I've got powder on, and it looks a bit more stable. There's still some glow. I don't know how long this is gonna last. Just because I am looking a bit paler today because of the foundation that I'm wearing, I'm gonna use my Fenty Beauty bronzer in the Sun, which is a lovely pale bronzer. And then I'm going to use my Revolution and Patricia Bright face palette in Moonlight Glow, and I'm actually going to use all of the shades because it's been a while. Okay, so that is it for my base makeup. I still need to do like my lips and my brows obviously, and what I will do once I've done that is just spray on some Too Faced Hangover Primer. I feel like everything kind of applied similarly on both sides, but I wouldn't really expect a difference at this stage because the foundation is what's come into contact with the primer, if that makes sense. And yeah, the main thing that I see is a little bit of difference in blurring around here, but other than that, at this stage, things just kind of look the same. So let me just quickly finish up my makeup and I'll be right back. Alright, so my makeup is now done. At this stage, I don't really have anything at all to add because, you know, I've already compared the two sides. So the real test is going to be how well it lasts throughout the day. It is already 11. I'm not going to be putting the primer through like a big test or anything. I don't exactly have an exciting day planned. The most exciting thing I'm going to do today is hang up the laundry outside. So if it's windy, I guess that's a bit of a test. I mean, we can't leave the house, so we can't do proper wear tests, can we? So I'll check in with you guys at some point this afternoon. We'll see how it's wearing. I'm going to try really hard not to touch my face because I really struggle with that. It might also be interesting to see if it does anything to wearing my glasses as well. My glasses always ruin my makeup on my nose, so that'll be something that we can see. So yeah, I'm just gonna go about my day and I'll see you guys in a few hours. Alright guys, so it is now almost 6:30, so the makeup has been on for a while now. We've had it on for almost 7.5 hours. It's time to see what it looks like. I'm dying to take this off, by the way. It's getting to the stage where like parts of my face are getting itchy and I'm trying really hard not to remove any makeup. I've done quite well. I've barely touched my face here. I'm really proud of myself. I've just got the glasses on because you will immediately notice it's the giant glasses marks. They're the same on both sides. The primer hasn't changed anything there. So what I'm actually going to do is bring you guys in closer so that you can really see everything going on. The lens that I use doesn't actually have a zoom, so I'm going to have to pull out a different tripod. So this is why I don't normally zoom in, because it's very high effort. We'll have a look at it so that I can tell you what I think about it, whether it works or not, and that way I can give you my final thoughts on it. Okay, so I didn't realise just quite how up close and personal we would be getting. So yeah, again, the main thing that you can spot immediately is the glasses marks, but that happens with any foundation. So far I haven't found the magic trick to get it to work. I don't really know if I see a difference between both sides. I felt like earlier this side was looking more oily than this side, which is quite unexpected. I don't know if that still is the case now. I did actually try to film a check-in for you guys earlier, and I tried to do it in natural light, and I had about 10 minutes to do it, and then Milton decided he needed attention, so there was no check-in in natural light. My nose looks pretty oily, but I would say that's nothing out of the ordinary. One thing that I did notice earlier that was different between the two sides, and I don't know if it was already like that at the time of application, this temple was looking really messy, and this one was looking really nice and smooth, but I kind of feel like they've evened out now with my oils. I have to say though, I just don't see a difference right now between both sides. I really don't. Up here, where I've obviously been doing a lot of frowning apparently today, the foundation has settled in to the same amount on both sides. I almost feel like I have more settling in on this smile line than on that smile line, so there's just no difference really. Right now, looking at this, I would say that this primer hasn't done anything for me. Maybe it is a type of primer that isn't suitable for oily skin, that's not going to do much and you would need something else. Yeah, I guess I definitely expected to see a lot more from this product, just really expected to see a difference. But again, I wasn't really doing anything today. So maybe the best thing to do is to just get back to you guys on this one once we're allowed out again, and I actually use it on a day where I'm really putting it to the test. Because yeah, for editing and hanging up laundry, doesn't really make a difference. If you guys enjoyed today's video, then do as always, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of it, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye guys!